Manchester United losing by 3-1 to PSG. PSG would take the lead through Neymar. The equaliser coming for a deflected effort from Marcus Rashford. But then Fred getting sent off just after Marquinhos made it 2-1. Neymar with the late goal to seal the 3 points for PSG to put them very much in the driving seat to finish top of this group. Craig, where do you want to start with this?
No, because that's the thing we've been talking about.
Because there's so many different talking points from within this game. But I suppose the big one is that PSG got the win that they needed.
Well, look, let's take a look at it in the big picture. PSG were poor, right? Up until Fred got sent off, and we'll discuss Fred in a bit, Mbappe and Neymar in particular, but Mbappe was just as bad half the time, were terrible. Terrible. I mean, Mbappe gave the ball away so many times, right? Neymar had little influence in the game up to that point. But they still managed to beat Man United on their own soil 3-1. So that tells you a story about Man United. Their story is indiscipline, lacking real quality, and can't take the chances. Martial, 2. Yeah. 1 in particular. You know, Cavani was unlucky for the crossbar. It was a great bit of skill. He's clearly the best natural finisher they've got. But the one that Martial missed, I can't remember, 15, 20 minutes into the second half, was
that's the one he skied over the bar.
He skied over the bar after great play down the right-hand side by Cavani and then Rashford. And it's, at this level, you've got to take it. So, ill-discipline, lacking quality in the final third from certain players, and had a great chance to beat a PSG side that were pretty poor.
Frank, do you agree? PSG not at their best today, but still getting the win?
Definitely. I think a draw would have been, I suppose, fair. I disagree with Craig on Neymar first 10 minutes. I give him a credit for 10 minutes, where I think he was good, and then it's when he scored the first goal. But it's true that he disappeared, and I don't even understand why maybe after an hour he was completely tired, why Tuchel didn't put him out and change him substitute him for somebody else. But yeah, it wasn't a good game. We had some chances. We didn't see the difference when Fred was sent off. It's where you see, and you can say that Paris is not at the top. And it's not that Manchester United was good. I think it's just because Paris Saint-Germain was poor. And we didn't see a good game because we saw clumsiness. We saw stupid tackles. We saw maybe stupid, or not maybe stupid, but very awkward decision from the referee about Fred. You know, it's very strange. Even Manchester United, losing 2-1 at home, should have been more, you know, interested of only losing 2-1. The 3-1 and the last goal from Neymar is very, very important for Paris Saint-Germain, and it can be very important also for Manchester United. So I don't understand why they wanted to score goals where they were 10 against 11. So we have many things to say, and it's hard to say something very specific on what we saw and analyze the whole game, because I think it was crazy in a way that it was so poor that it was that crazy. If you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, Frank. The significance, of course, with that third goal means that PSG have the advantage over Manchester United when it comes to head-to-head. And we'll talk about big picture as to who's going to qualify from the group in a moment. But let's just talk about something that both brought up, Stevie, the red card shown to Fred. Many felt he was lucky to be on the pitch in the first place after what looked like a headbutt in the first half.
Well, it was an attempted headbutt. I don't think he made any contact with Paradis. But this whole Fred thing kind of plays into what Craig said about, number one, ill-discipline. Because that's what that is from Fred. You know, why is he posturing? Why is he trying to show everybody how big and hard he is? And how stupid to throw your head, and how he doesn't get sent off is absolutely beyond me. It makes no sense. I'd love to know what the referee gave him a yellow card for, because it makes absolutely zero sense. And then the fact he gets sent off, again, plays into the second thing Craig said about the lacking in quality. Now, it shouldn't have been a second yellow, in my opinion. I don't even think it was a foul. But the fact is, it all comes about because Fred has a bad touch. So you've got one of Manchester United's starting 11. He's now one of the starting 11. He's ill-disciplined and his touch is poor. So we wonder why Manchester United are average. And actually, let's be honest, were we expecting a fantastic classic game of football here? Because both of these sides are average. Neither of these sides are going to win the Champions League, that's for sure. But anyway, regardless of that, back to your question, 100% a red card.
The ref will be reprimanded.
Yes, yeah, because of that. And then we also saw the challenge as well that he produced in the first half, which could have seen a second yellow. Many suggesting that Solskjaer should have taken him off at half-time because it was clear that his head had gone slightly and PSG were trying to get him sent off. Didn't, and then obviously he did get that red later on, even though it was harsh.
Well, I think that tells you where they are as well, that one, either he didn't think about taking him off, or two, he didn't like the other choices.
Wow. And one of those choices is Paul Pogba, obviously.
Yeah, but he doesn't like Paul Pogba, and for very good reason, because that's not Solskjaer's fault, that's Pogba's fault. We've discussed that. Coming off the bench with a bit to go to try and salvage a game. Tells you all you need to know. Look.
Yeah, but no, Craig, I'm sorry, but if you don't have Pogba, you have Van de Beek. And you have to really wonder why they bought Van de Beek during the pre-season, because that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but maybe Solskjaer didn't buy him. And that's been one of the rumours going around, that Man United have been going out. And to be fair, Solskjaer, and I'm not his biggest fan as a Man United manager, but I do believe he was asking for certain players and he was getting different players. And maybe, and I might be wrong, is one of the reasons we're seeing Van de Beek on the bench as often as we are, because maybe the manager thinks, don't really fancy him. Now, Pogba inherited. But I'm not really interested if Pogba starts or not. That story's just been running and it's pretty boring. Because I don't think anybody would argue that he deserves to be in the team. However, he probably should have taken him off, but it's ill-discipline. And then, to Stevie's point, PSG are going to go through because they're playing Besiktas in the final round. The Leipzig-Man United game is huge in Germany. Right, it's going to be a huge game. They've no Upamecano. He got a yellow card. He's suspended. Even if United go through with PSG, they're pretty much going to go straight out. Both of them. I'd be surprised if they go the distance. Now, or even near the distance. Now, there'll be some Paris Saint-Germain PSG fans say, well, you can't just. They've got Mbappe, they've got Neymar. They got to the Champions League final last year. Yeah. So did Tottenham recently. Yeah. Then
the argument I would say to that is there's a lot of mediocrity in Europe at the moment. A lot of the big teams aren't particularly impressive, with the exception of Bayern Munich. I think you can put...
And I'll give you mediocre in bucket loads as those two.
Yeah, but I think there are a lot of teams. A lot of them. Barcelona, Real Madrid, all Juventus.
Listen, Dan.
But we're at levels of mediocrity.
Let's be honest.
Go on, Stevie.
Go on, Steve.
Dan, let's be honest. We've been saying this forever, right? PSG is all about Mbappe and Neymar. And that's why they're never going to win the Champions League. The rest of the team are bang average, but whenever these two are on fire or fancy it, then they can do things. So, yes, they got to the Champions League final, but it was an incredibly easy run they got, and they weren't particularly great, and the teams they played against weren't particularly great. So, you can't hang your hat on a team on two players. Especially with the injury.
Yeah, and you know what?
The injuries that Neymar has had over the last couple of years as well. So, I mean, honestly, a decent team with no superstars will beat PSG.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.